Welcome to Yadnya Investment Academy. In our earlier video on asset allocation, we had seen putting your money to work in the best possible way is asset allocation. It depends upon your risk profile, your financial goals, and their corresponding investment horizon. There are many asset allocation strategies with which you can achieve this. And in this video, we are going to get introduced to one such strategy called as strategic asset allocation. Strategic asset allocation is a strategy for the long term. It intends to achieve diversification in the most efficient way and establish an appropriate asset mix, keeping in mind, obviously, the long term perspective for a given level of risk. The idea here is no one knows what the future holds for us. So, you decide on a proportion of asset mix that best suits you. You periodically review it and rebalance it. This way, you're not exposed to any additional risk which might arise due to some asset class gaining more in a market rally, because the same asset class might see correction and you might end up making losses. The periodic booking of profit also preserves capital over the long run. And so, the asset allocation has to be the one that performs well in all market conditions. For this, you need to understand certain things. Understand risk and return of each asset class. For example, equity is a riskier asset class. It is volatile in the short term but gives good returns over the long term. Debt is less riskier but gives low returns. You need to understand the impact of inflation and other economic conditions on the asset performance. For example, equities do better in times of growth and commodities and real estate do well in times of inflation. You need to understand the correlation between asset classes. Some asset classes perform in the same fashion. Some perform in the opposite direction and some are independent to each other. For example, when equity makes gains, the debt asset class makes less returns, and similarly, the reverse is true. Now, before we move towards an example of strategic asset allocation, there might be confusion on whether to follow goal-based investment approach or follow strategic asset allocation. Goal-based investment approach can be followed when you have limited income to satisfy your overwhelming goals. And strategic asset allocation can be followed in the scenario where you have good amount of income or resources where you can comfortably satisfy your goals. Here, your risk profile becomes a dominating factor, as to grow your additional income, you follow an asset mix which would give you a good night's sleep. Now that we know strategic asset allocation can be followed when you have surplus income, where the kind of allocation you follow depends upon your risk profile. Here, I'm duplicating the table as seen in our risk profiling video. The table shows various risk profiles, the corresponding debt and equity allocations these risk profiles are comfortable investing, and the returns these risk profiles should expect. This table gives a fairer idea instead of going into a specific example for strategic asset allocation. And as far as rebalancing is concerned, we've already seen an example in our asset allocation video. So friends, strategic asset allocation is a strategy for the long term. It diversifies and achieves the right kind of asset mix. It optimizes risk and provides stability to your portfolio in all sort of market conditions. It preserves the capital in the long run. We've also seen when you should use strategic asset allocation. And last but not the least, some things to bear in mind. Bear in mind that strategic asset allocation is specific to a person as it depends upon your risk profile, your goals, and their corresponding investment horizon. Also remember to change your strategic asset allocation in case of sudden personal events, major milestones in life, and in case of major change in the market conditions. Hope you now know what is strategic asset allocation. Friends, thanks for watching this video. Watch this space for more such topics. Until then, happy investing. If you have any questions, let us know in the comment section below our videos. And if you like our videos, please do subscribe. Thank you.